Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're watching us from. Here are 5 things that we talked about in class on Saturday. 5 things that I brought up that have to do with quitting the martial arts. When we feel like we're having a bad time, bad period, we're hitting obstacles in our martial art career, we want to quit, we've lost our mojo, so to speak. What are some things that we can do to combat that? And also, don't forget that we're not alone in this. All of us who train consistently have had bad times in our martial art career. It's impossible to have perfect days all the time. You have to have highs and lows to understand one or the other. Yin-yo, yin-yang, everything has an opposite to it. The greatest days are going to be followed by the worst days. Those of you who remember last year, it was some of the worst years for most of us in our lives. But today, this could be the worst year if your attitude isn't right. So these are some choices that we can make, and they affect not just people in martial arts, but maybe you out there could use these at work. You can use them in all kinds of different relationships we have with other people in our lives. They have helped me over the years. They have been taught to me by my teachers, and some are just kind of, we know, it's common sense, and it's already in us. We just have to kind of remember it. These are not secrets of any kind, but they're things that we need to hear them more often, especially when we're at our worst. Number 1 is to remember why we started the martial arts. Why did you initially join your school or your dojo or your gym, wherever you happen to train? What was the passion, the spark that started it? Was it a movie? Was it someone in your family who trained? Was it a book that you read or a comic book or something like that? All of us have to remember our origin story. Where did we start? And often if we're having a bad time in our martial art, we just kind of meditate and go back to that period in our life where the martial arts was so exciting and brand new, and we couldn't wait to get to our dojo, even if we were scared or nervous. We had the courage, we had the gumption to walk in that door and say, I want to learn whatever style that you put in that blank there, and I'm ready to go. Here's my vow, my commitment. Let's begin. Why did you lose that? What happened along the way that made that passion die out? Sometimes we can re-find it, so don't forget why you started to train. For me, I was 5 years old and I started to watch Kung Fu theater on Saturday mornings in the 1970s. We were limited. We didn't have the computer. We didn't have the internet. All we had was a TV and a couple of television channels that we watched. And every Saturday was Kung Fu theater. Those of you old enough can remember it. And we watched David Carradine with Kung Fu, although that was a bit before my time. We watched Bruce Lee movies, all the Shaw Brother Hong Kong imports. And it was so cool to be able to turn the TV off at like 1 in the afternoon and go outside with your brother and beat the heck out of each other and try to imitate these martial arts that you saw on TV. It was impossible. We were horrible, but we had so much fun, hours and hours outside, just beating the heck out of each other. And our neighbors too, all the kids would watch it and come over. We'd have these huge kung fu battles using all kinds of sticks, and we'd have King of the Mountain, all kinds of different things that we did. That's still with me, even 40 years later. This morning I get up at 6 a.m. thinking about martial arts. And then I got to the dojo at 8, and I'll leave at 8:30 tonight. But it's like that, it's gone, the day. There's so much to think about. And when I'm having a bad period, which is very rare, but it does happen, I think about myself as a child and how excited I was to be able to learn martial arts. That has never gone away. And hopefully for you, you can find your own origin story and never ever forget it. Remind yourself of it often. The second thing is to remember that you made a commitment, and how are you at keeping your own word, not just to your family and friends, but to yourself. A lot of us make vows and commitments very lightly nowadays because the internet and our devices have literally taught us how not to have any type of focus. What they teach us is it's very easy to turn things off, to swipe right, to quit when things get rough. In the old days, because we had less and things were not as easy to find or to learn, we had to hold on to it more preciously. Nowadays, it seems because we have so much technology, so much information at our fingertips, that it's very easy just to pick and choose and to dabble here and dabble there, but never to commit to one thing for a long period of time. And you know as well as I do, you can't possibly master something or even get to be an expert at it if you only do it for a couple months and then leave. How many of us know somebody who say that they train in the martial arts, but they haven't really trained in 10 years? What they do is they go to one seminar a year, or they watch 2 movies every month, and they assume that they have those skills built into their muscle memory. We can never forget that martial art training goes away when you do. It is a diminishing skill. It is muscle memory that we are developing month after month, year after year. But when you stop, after a month or two, you can kind of see everything kind of implodes on itself. The awareness that you used to have kind of dulls more. The armor that you used to wear from your training isn't as strong anymore, and things like anger and frustration, sadness kind of penetrate you far easier now that you're not training, and they stick far longer. When you're training in the martial arts, it's amazing how many students come up to me and say, "Look, I don't get mad anymore. I kind of let things go when I train. I don't get frustrated as much anymore. When I do, it only lasts about a minute. Used to last 2 days. I've let go of all my grudges. I don't feel sad anymore. I feel like I have purpose in my life. I wake up in the morning excited and I feel young and alive." This is that passion that goes back to number 1. Never forget, though, that once we stop training, life is going to tear at us. It's going to come back. And all of the things that we started to train for are going to go against us in time. You can't possibly maintain the skill that you had when you were coming to your dojo 3-4 nights a week. It's not possible. We assume in our little human reptilian brains that we still have these skills, but under duress, or if someone were to really attack you and resist completely, without that muscle memory, those skills go away. Your techniques, they get rusty, or you forget them completely. I've seen it a million times. So don't forget, as soon as you stop, so does your martial arts skill. It can only stay sharp and focused as we are in the training. Something people don't like to talk about, but it's so important. It is the number 1 most important question in your life and mine. Death. Life is so short. You and I are going to be dead very shortly. Don't think that's morbid. That is a fact. As soon as we are born, we're headed that way. So we better find purpose quickly, because we don't know how long we're going to be here. Could be today, tomorrow, a decade. In the grand scheme of life and geological time, our lives are like a flea. That's it. So why not put it to purpose right away and laser focus, knowing that we're going to die very soon, knowing that life is finite, let go of things that bother us, and run toward things that make us happy, things that bring us purpose in life, things that help other people, and things that involve just helping community and the world around us, so that when our generation is over, our kids' generation takes over, the grandkids, we know that we were good stewards of the world. And you and I are part of a tradition. If you're in a martial art like I am, you're part of a lineage. You're part of a long history of martial art people who have brought us this knowledge. And again, there goes that commitment again. You and I are responsible to bring this martial art to the next generation. We are the ones that have to carry it over. And that's a very important thing that we don't take lightly. So don't forget, life is almost over. What are we doing today to improve it? And what choices are we making to change the things that we want to change? We know that if we don't do anything, nothing will change. So we have to get back to the dojo. If you're already training, stick with it, don't quit. But just remember, year after year, our life is draining very quickly. We must embrace it while it's still in us. I've said it a billion times, living is learning. Every day that we go and train, we learn something new. Every day is learning. Every day that we live, we learn. And what a privilege that is to be able to go out and learn the martial arts that used to be reserved only for the wealthy people of a certain class. You and I have so much knowledge, so much opportunity right there in our fingertips. We can go and join a dojo. We can get a second job if we can't afford it. Instead of saying, no, I can't, think of the ways to find the solution to our problems to get to the dojo. Don't ever forget, every day we can learn something new when we go and train. You can never be too good. You can't possibly master the martial arts. It is impossible. But every day I come to class, I learn 5 new things. And if you learn 1 new thing every day, that's 50-something new things that you learn in a year. The knowledge is there for all of us. We can take it. It's just sitting there waiting for you to walk through your dojo door and say, please teach me, I'm ready. Don't forget how much darn fun martial arts are. Don't take it so seriously. There are going to be days that you're going to be frustrated, angry. You're going to walk out the dojo door and you're going to be mad at your training partners, frustrated at your teacher, and the most important, you're going to be frustrated at yourself. And again, if we listen to that voice, we won't come back because it's so easy to quit and just sit in our comfort zone. It is so easy to give everything up, close the blinds and just hide. But you and I know that's not a good life. It's not a powerful life. What would our ancestors do if they were watching us right now? Right now they're watching, saying, look, here's the knowledge. Get your butt off the couch and get to the dojo and train, or to your gym, whatever it is. Again, I'm not talking about style here or martial arts styles, or just pick something, anything. It could be your family. It could be your job. It could be whatever your passion is in life. Find it. And then when you find it, run toward it. And seek out every teacher that's better than you and say, I want to learn. And be humble and say, I don't know enough. I want to learn more. And go to other martial arts. Learn different styles. Multitask. Do it all. Life is so short. Go back to that. But keep it fun. Keep it light. Don't take it too seriously. It's not physics. It's martial arts. But be careful with it because it really can be deadly. You have to take care of our training partners. But remember how fun it is to go with like-minded people and come to a place where it's positive. How often do we go to places where people are trying to tear us down out of envy, jealousy, and whatever else? And we do it to them as well. But you come to the dojo from every background, every culture, every age group. It doesn't matter. We're all here for the same purpose, to learn and to have fun and to make purpose in life and to find our purpose, whatever that might be. It's so cool to walk in a place where people celebrate your success rather than tear you down and backstab you because they're jealous of where you're going or who you're with. Martial art dojos are a special place, a place where you will be challenged, you will feel frustrated because it's our job to push you out of the comfort zone, as my teachers did to me and still do. You and I agree that it's easy to sit back and do nothing and to judge and to criticize others when we're not actually doing it. And the people that are actually doing it know darn well that they're only going to respect the opinion of those who do it with them. Those who are on the same journey they will listen to. They're comrades, not combatants. Something to think about, something to remember. You and I are on the same path. We're here briefly on this earth, and we have a choice every day. What am I going to do today? Because tonight when I go to bed, that day is gone forever. The page is torn away. Yes, again, every day we wake up as a new, fresh opportunity to call your dojo and go back, or to stick with it if you are, or just to do whatever you need to do to get into the martial art of your choice. The only thing stopping ourselves is us. There's really no other obstacle because we're so darn good at making excuses and lying to ourselves and lying to other people just to save face, when all we really have to do is get in our car, drive to our dojo if we have one, or create our own, do anything you need to do to make your life worth living. That's my opinion, and it's helped me through the darkest of times in my life, such as last year. And I feel compelled to make sure other people at least hear that there's always a positive choice and we have the power to change our life today. Everyone, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the mat. On the mat's the best place for you and I to see each other. Tonight, in a few hours, let's train. Let's train.